Hi guys, it's Shelby, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my first month at uni, what I've learned, what I've experienced, maybe some things you can get some advice from. I don't know. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about are seminars and lectures. What's the difference? How do they work? So when I went to open days, I was told that, oh, you'll be taught through seminars and lectures. Okay, and that's kind of all I knew. From just general knowledge, I knew what a lecture was. I knew it was in a massive hall and there'd be like someone speaking to you, tiered seats. And then when I went to the open days, there were talks in the lecture hall, so I saw what it was like. Got a feel for what a lecture was, and I just kind of I was like, oh yeah, okay, there'll be seminars. With no real idea of what it was. I mean, I know I saw some classrooms around, so I was like, okay, they must be in there. But it wasn't until I actually went to one that I learned what it was like. So a seminar is basically going back into a classroom just like you would have done at school. Smaller groups, so not everyone is in your lecture hall has to fit in one classroom, obviously. Be a bit of a squeeze. But there is stuff like group work, you can talk back to the class, more of a discussion, and you're expected to like talk about things more rather than in a lecture where you can sit and listen. Now, talking about lectures, depending on who your lecturer is, I find it's very different. Sometimes it's okay to just sit and listen, which is good for me, that's what I like. But there are times when audience participation is needed, and it's not my favourite. There are some times where you can put your hands up, but I have been in the odd occasion where you are picked, and if you are picked, you speak. Okay, so a final tip for lectures is to try and stay awake. I've seen some people fall asleep. And maybe use the lecture to your advantage and don't do other things. I have seen students book holidays. People do a lot. Does not listen. So the next thing I want to talk about is something that I know worries a lot of people, and that's making friends. Now, from the start I was told, oh, you're going to find that more difficult because of me commuting. There's this certain idea that people who commute don't make any friends. Oh, you're going to be a Larry. Oh, you got no flatmates. To just have the idea put in your head that, oh my god, am I really going to struggle that much? That's quite a scary thing. But I have made some friends. The next thing I want to talk about is the timetable, how things work, because I know some people have come from sixth forms and they do like a full school day. Some people have come from college like me. A full day, what's that? And I was quite curious on how it was going to work. And it got to like a couple of weeks before I was starting, and one thing I really wanted to know was my timetable, and I didn't have that yet. So I was quite nervous waiting for it, and then people were like starting to get theirs through, and I was like, oh, I would really like my timetable now. And I was really worried about how it was going to work, because when I was talking about lectures and seminars on the open day, one thing I didn't ask was how long are they, how many are there a week. I do wish I'd asked more questions on open days. I think that would have helped. I would have been less confused going into it, but I learned as I went along. So maybe a week before I got my timetable, I used the BCU app, and you can see it on there. So I'm in 3 days a week, and I have 3 lectures, 3 seminars a week. Seminars and lectures pair up, and then they fit together to go through one topic, so you're basically studying 3 topics at a time. And to finish up talking about the timetable, I know this is something I was certainly thinking about. I wondered how long things were going to last. So I know this is different for other subjects, but for me personally, my lectures last 2 hours and seminars last 1 hour. So the next thing, and probably what will be the most important thing for some people, is how grading works. Now, I have no idea why I didn't look into this sooner, but I went to uni and I kind of had no idea about how grading worked. When I was at primary school, I was graded using numbers and letters. I don't know if this was the same for everyone, but it would be like 1C, 1B, 1A, 2C, B, A, 3C, B, A, and it would work up. And then for secondary school and college, grading changed to just letters, A, B, C, D. Biology is an E. Dance, B, and psychology, D. I was in a lecture the other day, and our lecturer was talking about the assessment, and like a mocking criteria came on the board, and it had like got percentages attached to grades, and that was the first time I'd ever seen them in like order. First, 2, 1, 2, 2, third, and I was like, oh, okay, that's how it works, I guess. I've never looked that up, so there you go. That's how I learned how the grading worked.